Paris awoke with a shudder on July 14, 1789. Gone was the usual bustle, the carefree chatter of market vendors, the rhythmic clip-clop of carriages on cobblestone streets. A shroud of fear hung heavy in the air, suffocating, oppressive. Rumors like wildfire in a dry forest raced through the narrow alleyways, whispered from neighbor to neighbor. The king, it was said, was amassing troops at Versailles, preparing to crush the growing dissent with an iron fist. The Bastille, that looming symbol of royal authority, cast a long shadow over the city. Its very stones whispered tales of imprisonment without trial, of torture, of the king's absolute power. The citizens of Paris, hungry, unemployed, and increasingly desperate, felt the sharp sting of injustice. They had tasted freedom in the words of revolutionaries, in the echoes of the American fight for independence. The Third Estate, representing the commoners of France, had dared to defy the king, declaring themselves the National Assembly. This day, July 14th, would be the crucible, the moment when fear would either cripple or ignite a revolution. As the sun climbed higher, casting an anxious glow upon the city, crowds began to gather. Unease morphed into anger, fear into a reckless courage. The people, fueled by desperation and a shared sense of injustice, knew they had to act. Word spread like wildfire. The Bastille, that hated symbol of oppression, held weapons, gunpowder, the means to defend themselves against the king's rumored troops. A militia, a ragtag group of shopkeepers, artisans, and laborers began to form. Armed with whatever they could scavenge, rusty muskets, pikes, even kitchen knives, they were united by a common purpose: to arm themselves against tyranny. The air crackled with a nervous energy, a sense of purpose that transcended fear. This was no longer a mob, but a force to be reckoned with. The people, emboldened by their collective will, surged towards the fortress, their footsteps echoing through the narrow streets, a thunderous heartbeat of revolution. The Bastille loomed before them, its imposing stone walls a testament to centuries of royal power. Yet, what was once a symbol of unshakable authority now seemed strangely vulnerable against the tide of human fury surging towards its gates. The governor, Delaunay, a man out of touch with the people he ruled, watched with growing unease as the crowd swelled before him. A tense standoff ensued. Demands were made, pleas for gunpowder, for the removal of the cannons that pointed menacingly from the Bastille's ramparts. Delaunay prevaricated, caught between his duty to the crown and the very real threat posed by the armed mob before him. The crowd, sensing weakness, surged forward. Shots rang out, a smattering of musket fire, then cannon fire. The drawbridge creaked open, breached by the sheer weight of the crowd. The Bastille, that impenetrable fortress, had been breached. The storming of the Bastille was a chaotic, bloody affair. The defenders, outnumbered and overwhelmed, fought with the desperation of cornered animals. The attackers, fueled by righteous fury and a thirst for vengeance, showed no mercy. The governor Delaunay was dragged from his hiding place, his pleas for mercy drowned out by the roar of the crowd. The Bastille, once a symbol of royal power, was now a scene of triumphant chaos. Prisoners, some held for years without trial, were freed to the cheers of the crowd. Weapons and gunpowder were seized, distributed amongst the newly empowered citizens of Paris. Yet, amidst the victory there was a dark undercurrent. The revolution, for all its idealistic pronouncements of liberty, equality, fraternity, had shown its capacity for violence, a chilling portent of the years to come. The storming of the Bastille was more than just the seizure of a fortress. It was a seismic shift in the very fabric of French society. The absolute authority of the monarchy, unchallenged for centuries, had been irrevocably shaken. The people, having tasted power, would not be easily subdued. News of the uprising spread like wildfire throughout France, igniting similar revolts in towns and cities across the nation. The peasants, inspired by the courage of the Parisians, rose up against their feudal lords, burning chateaux and demanding an end to centuries of oppression. The French Revolution, sparked on that hot July day, was now a raging inferno, consuming the old order and threatening to reshape the very map of Europe. The storming of the Bastille had unleashed forces that would prove impossible to control. The legacy of July 14, 1789, extends far beyond the borders of France. It stands as a testament to the power of the human spirit, a reminder that even the most entrenched systems of power can crumble when confronted by the collective will of the people. It is a day forever etched in the annals of history, celebrated in France as Bastille Day, a national holiday commemorating the birth of a new era. The storming of the Bastille serves as a potent symbol of revolution, a beacon of hope for oppressed peoples around the world. Yet the legacy of that day is not without its shadows.